Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody. Hi, this is Christy from Bikes for Kids. I'm here test driving our equipment for the Giving Tuesday Telethon, which is tomorrow. That's December 3rd from 10 to 4 p.m. We have 8 guests slated for interviews. So be sure to check out our website. That's bikesforkidswi.org and click on the telethon page to see the list of guests. There are folks like Dave Chislevich and Representative Sheila Stubbs and Sean Koval from UW Health and lots of other people. So bear with me here as I do a little warm up here, and you get to see the behind the scenes action of the telethon. You'll have to come a little bit closer. Hold on here. I think that looks pretty good. I think we could come a little bit closer though. What's that?
You're actually recording?
We are live on YouTube for all the millions of viewers. Yes, we have 67 subscribers, Ken, but I guarantee you maybe 2 are watching. Most people are working. So, no, I'm going to use yours. I just am testing it out. So this, I think distance works well. Can I grab the stool from your area though, so I can set it up here? Thank you. What language is that? Oh, yeah. Oh, good old potty humor. Hey, Jerry, you want to join me for a second?
You need a pretty face?
Well, I do need a pretty face and a warm heart.
Not in my contract. So. What am I doing?
Well, you could sit here and we can
fix the bike?
Yeah. So tell me what you're up to. It's so nice to see you.
And it's good to see you.
So you're here a lot.
I try to be.
What do you have specific days that you come here?
Oh, you should I should
I'll clip this right onto you.
Okay.
You don't even have to worry
There you go.
How about that? There you go.
Okay. It's a test run. So I'm not on this. If half the world's not watching me, I try to come here Mondays lately.
Mondays,
Yeah.
okay.
Or
Excellent.
if I can't make Mondays, Thursdays work too. But
Okay.
Mondays are usually
I sure
the day.
see you here a lot.
And I've been coming here since you started, I believe.
So 2020, that was. I started
probably,
in 2020, so
yeah.
almost 5 years. It's
I
April.
think I'm guessing you and I started about the same time.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Right after right in the midst of the pandemic, basically.
Yep. So I was at the shop we had at
kind of the old Party City,
right?
Yeah.
And then the mall.
That's right, because I go through those pictures a lot, when I'm posting on social media, and I'll see your pictures over there.
Yeah, so it's Party City, then the mall, then here. Am I missing something? Is that pretty much how
I think
it was?
that's it. Yeah. So we popped around a little bit.
We have.
Yeah.
You have. The shop has.
But I feel like this is pretty good. I mean, we are in this. We have a kind of an old drafty warehouse, but it really works great for what we're doing.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I think the location is so ideal, right?
Yeah,
it's
close
just
to the bike path.
Yep, and really in the heart of the community we serve. We're south side of Madison. So.
Yeah, no, it really is a good spot.
Yeah,
it's a good spot
Central
for what we do.
Yep.
Yeah, like you say, good location.
Yeah.
Close to your clientele and close to the bike trail.
So I think you've heard that this is temporary, this space, right? So we know we have it through June of 2026. That's where we're at.
Okay, so we got a year and a half, right?
Yeah, about
math right?
about a year and a half. So this building will be torn down. It'll be
do they already have that scheduled to tear down?
No, but that's the plan. That's what they bought this for, was a tear down, and building offices was the plan. So we're just west of the old WEA Trust complex, if you know where that is, kind of at the end of John Nolan drive. I call it the WEA Trust
Right.
Mountain. And so there's a bunch of offices there, and not a lot of people work there anymore, which that also works well for us because this ocean of parking lot over
is
here,
available.
it's where we do our bike giveaway events. And when we did the South Side Slow Roll, it was all staged up here.
Yeah.
So it works out really well for us.
Well, then also the new school, we're not far at all from that.
Yeah. And
We
very
should be
exciting.
making more connections with that.
Yeah, that's just now starting to happen. They've been in our sites for a long while. This is Badger Rock, which is elementary and a middle school right over here. I think it's called Southside Elementary and Badger Rock Middle School. And, they're just 2 blocks away, really. And we've been doing this bike mechanics youth development program, which we're right behind us is where they all work. So it's usually about 10 to 12 kids come in here from Wright Middle School, and they get a box of bike parts. And those parts make a 20-inch bicycle. And so that's what they have to build. Have you been a part of tearing those apart?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay. So sometimes
I will look forward to it.
Harvey, our operations manager here, he'll sometimes ask volunteers to tear a bike apart and put all the parts in the box. And so that's been a really fun program.
Yeah.
And
so that's with Wright. And then, like you say, now you can do this Badger Rock, similar kind of thing.
We're starting to work with Badger Rock on that, which ironically, the biggest challenge with it all was transportation barriers. And even though Wright Middle School is like, 2 miles away,
it's not that far, but
it's still very hard for them to get here. They have to take taxis, right? Because they can't bike all the time. And they're young children. They can't bike home at night. And many of them don't live in neighborhoods that are even bikeable.
Yeah.
So, I know people ask me that, well, why can't they just bike? And I'm like, well, they're 11 years old and some of them live in apartments on the Beltline. So there's infrastructure challenges, but so we're very excited with Badger Rock. They're either going to bike over here or they'll walk.
Over. I mean, it's an easy
very
walk.
easy.
Yeah. So I think it's a great location.
Cool.
And I guess what you were getting at with the fact that this lease is coming up is sort of what you'll do later.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, this space has presented so many opportunities for us, right? In this space that we've been here. So January will be our 2-year anniversary in here.
Is that all?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
We changed our name. We stepped away from the Free Bikes for Kids model, which was just it was a limited version of what we needed to do and what we needed to be. It was a 10-week bike giveaway program where you don't have any year-round staff, you don't have a year-round location. After you give away the bikes, you pack all your stuff up and put it in a storage locker. And it was a great foundation for launching Bikes for Kids Wisconsin.
Right.
It gave us the training wheels, if you will, to get this program.
But now it's a year-round operation.
Now we have an array of programming, like our Bike to Work program. We have our, bike giveaway program, which we just have given away 12,609 bicycles to date. So 2518 this year alone. Amazing. And then the Bike to Work program, very, very critical. That's for adults, and a lot of them have transportation barriers and cannot afford cars, and many of them are refugees or new immigrants to this area, and these bikes are providing economic mobility for them.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, because you see the people who come in here.
I don't know how much I've ever talked to you about it, but I've worked with some people I've met through another volunteer gig where I've had international students, Ukrainian refugees, rather, is really what I want to say. So I had a number of them come in and get bikes also.
Love it.
People who are, they're going through a lot of trauma in their life.
Oh my gosh, And a bike, when you think of those benefits, right? Not only is it wheels to get to work or to get to Madison College or to get to your elementary school, whatever it be, it just feels so darn good to do it.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
I just can't tell you how many times I'll see someone biking and they're alone and they have a big smile on their face. And I think I'm like that a lot.
I know I am. I've always tell people when I do long bike rides that I said I'm just a kid on a bike. 12 years old. Get on a bike, you're 12 years old.
Oh, it just feels so good, right? Yep. And for me, it's like moving meditation. And so I work. I don't know if you've seen that. There's some bumper stickers that say, my bike is my therapist.
Yeah.
And for me, I go through this thing where I process a lot of the challenges I'm facing, and I envision the stress flying off my shoulders as the wind is, meeting my face, and it just feels good.
Yep. I agree 100%.
Yeah. And then, we're out of our cars, which Those don't make us healthy.
No, I
They're
agree with you on
darn
that.
convenient,
Yeah,
but they are
but
not necessarily good for us, right?
Nope.
They're very stress inducing. You see all these folks with the rage driving and aggressive driving. Oh my
Well, and
goodness.
just both physical and
Yeah.
I mean, mental, obviously, like you say, psychologically it's healthier, but just physically also.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't even take any more time than being in a car. You know,
That's
there's a lot of times
right.
if you're just going a mile or two,
Yeah.
you can do that on a bike as fast as you're going to be able to do it in a car.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
I
pick
call
on
that
like
free exercise.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick on like Phoenix, Arizona, right? It's one of the worst bikeable cities in the country. And you know, it's huge, right? But so it might not be practical there, even though the weather there would make it practical. But here we have this incredible bike infrastructure that's been prioritized by Dane County and City of Madison, City of Fitchburg. And you know, it's just been incredible. And it makes it very possible. And like you said, the network, it's so efficient and smartly designed that if it's a 15-minute drive, a lot of times you can make it there on a bike.
Right.
It's kind of fun.
And a lot of us who've lived here for many years take it all for granted. But when you get people from out of town who moved here, it's really eye-opening to them.
Yeah. One of the other challenges that I see a lot is, you know, we give bikes to a lot of first-generation bike owners or people who are new here, and often, I don't know, it always is people of color who don't know that trail network exists. There are people who live in underserved areas and they just have no idea it's there, you know? And so that's a cool part of our advocacy and education at our bike giveaway events is we make sure we give out the Dane County bike map. We point out the Cap City Trail, which is right next to us.
Make sure people are aware of what's there.
Because I personally feel some of the best views of this city are seen from a saddle and two wheels on those trails.
Oh,
you know?
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, you get absolutely beautiful views of the Capitol if you come down like on John Nolan.
Oh, absolutely. And kind of going under Monona Terrace or right in front there. And then I think of Cap City Trail when you get out in that Oak Savannah in Fitchburg.
Out there, I was going to say also if you just go through like the Arboretum, not really a bike trail, but a great place to bike and a safe place for everyone to bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's great. One of my faves, the Lower Yahara River Trail. I love jetting over there and then stopping off at McDaniel's Park in McFarland.
Yeah.
And then watching the sunset and then booking back home so I get home before I try to race it home before
the boardwalk is very cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Beautiful setting there. So
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Cool. Nice.
So,
well, thank you for volunteering. You've been a steadfast for us.
I'll be continuing to come here as long as you let me. So.
How many bikes in those 5 years would you say you've worked on here?
Not as many as I should have.
No, I don't believe it for a second.
I really would have no way of guessing.
I mean, would it be 1,000? Would it be like how many in a day? I know it varies depending on the bike.
Say if you go through
and you have 5 years,
maybe 5 days, you do that 50 times a year. That's 250. You do that for several years. So
you're in the thousands.
I mean,
you're in the four digits.
A lot of bikes.
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
So,
I always like to think about like imagine seeing all of those bikes with people on them together. Like that's a sea of bicyclists. So like incredible.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, I mean, obviously you're keeping them out of landfills too, which is
big time stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Big time stuff. As much as we can. It's
right. I mean, obviously some are beyond repair, but
yeah, they are. But they'll still provide us those parts.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I don't know if you saw. I did a social media post about the life. What did I call it? The journey of a bicycle placed in a dumpster, something like that. And we still get a lot of apartments that are just chucking the bikes in the dumpster, the abandoned bikes. So even though the landfill does not accept bicycles. So if you didn't see the post, it's because you know I can't tell you. So I remember someone sent me an email with a photograph of this dumpster filled with bicycles, and I could see on the top like some of these were really nice bicycles. And they said, I'm working with my apartment manager. I'm going to try to get them out of there so you can at least get a chance of getting them, and I can bring you a couple at a time. And so I was like, oh, fantastic. And then I get an email back from them, and they show me another picture. Some contractor had poured concrete all over the bikes in the dumpster. Yeah, they just had waste and they had to throw it in. The dumpsters were in there, and she hadn't gotten that permission. And I mean, there were some beautiful treks right on top, and I was just like, oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
And
But
so, that's why, so when people put them in the dumpster, let's say that they don't get concrete poured on them and they get dumped into the back of the garbage truck, they typically get mangled in that process alone.
Right.
Then they go to the landfill, they get dumped there. The landfill workers then have to pull each and every one out,
I didn't even
which they
realize
do.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they actually reached out to Harvey because they asked, they told us that they were going to build a shelter in the parking lot for bicycles. And basically that's for us to come over and get them whenever we can and whenever we want to.
Never heard
it's
that.
just that they're so mangled by the time they get there. And for us, we don't have a way to haul, right? So like we have to rent a U-Haul truck to spend half a day to hauling broken bicycles that really we're not getting any dedicated funding for that program, which is our community service program of responsible bicycle disposal. And so it's, we're a staff of 2, so there's never a day when we don't have a lot to do. It doesn't happen in this world. So just don't put the bikes in the landfill. You're better off just setting them on the side of the street. What will happen then is a metal picker will take them. So even if they're good bikes, unfortunately, they'll be scrapped. So, bring them here if you can. That's the point of the story, is if you can just bring them here, it will save so much more effort and time and waste, and someone could actually use that as a vehicle.
A lot of the stuff that comes from apartment complex. I was just working with a buddy of mine who worked with his apartment manager to go through their bikes that have been in there for years.
Oh yeah.
And they're happy to get rid of them.
They are. They are.
People, if they live in an apartment complex, talk to your management.
Yes.
See if they want to clean
donate
that stuff
those bikes
out.
to Bikes for Kids. Right now, most of them are doing that. They're tagging bikes. They're alerting their residents. And we've had some people volunteering that told me, oh yeah, my apartment just sent out a notification that if your bike's not tagged, it's getting scrapped. And I said, what do you think they're going to do with those scrap bikes? And she was like, I don't know. I was like, please tell them to bring them here. Please tell them not to put them in a dumpster. That's just an enormous amount of waste. And when those can be saved, I mean, if a bike, it has good bones, man, we can just keep those things on the road.
There's always something that's useful.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely. So that's happening now. So shout out to all the 0 viewers watching.
0 viewers. Oh man!
But it's a work day. It's a work day.
It's being taped, so it will be on the news tonight.
Yeah, it will. So cool. Okay. Thanks, Jerry. Always fun to talk with you and work with you.
And like I say, you're stuck with me for a while.
I'll grab that microphone there so you don't have a hot mic moment.
Oh, that's right.
Those can be exciting. There's a movie where someone did that. Have you seen that movie where someone goes to the bathroom with the mic on? I think it's Will Ferrell. It's quite hilarious. Yes, not appropriate for this kind of conversation. Oh dear. Oh my, oh my.
Ken's been here a long time too.
Ken.
Yeah.
I'll get Ken on there next. Yes.
Yeah.
It's working.
He was over at the mall. I don't know if you were at Party City or not. Were you at Party City? It's the mall, east side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the mall. We were in a different.
Over by, I don't even know what's there.
It's kind of by Joanne Fabrics. Ken, what do you say? You want to have a little chat?
It's not live or anything.
It is live.
Well,
we're on live right now. Sure. Okay, great. Awesome. You heard what Jerry and I were up to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll sit here this time. Awesome. So, folks, this is Ken Quinn. He is another one of our volunteers here. Oh, gosh, you're here a lot too. And you kind of are seasonal because you do a little travel, right?
Yes, I do. I'm gone in February.
February, and then when do I see you here? I feel like I see you.
Well, I
like
start in
March
October.
through.
Yeah, October through April.
Okay, yeah, with
And then,
a little stint off in February.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're here a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's
I
a good
love
cause.
it. I love it. And how did you hear about it? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. It was 4 years ago.
It was 4 years ago.
So
yeah, that was
I really
pandemic.
Don't remember how
that was pandemic here.
No, it was before the pandemic.
It was.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Well,
No, 4 years
5.
ago. Yeah, because I started April 24th of 2020. Was 1 month after the pandemic shut down, and that'll be 5 years in April.
Yeah.
So, but you were coming. You said in the mall.
Yeah, I went to the mall.
Okay. Yep. So I was here. So that was
for a year.
That was 4 years ago.
Then came here.
Okay. Nice. Excellent. So maybe you saw it on the news. We got, we started getting a lot of coverage.
That could be.
I was
right
around
for
then.
a volunteer thing.
Awesome.
Getting into retirement.
Yeah. And are you a big biker? Do you have a long history with bikes?
Oh yeah, I've been biking since a kid.
Oh, nice.
Bought my first bike when I was in high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And did you teach yourself how to ride then in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of stuff like, a lot of kids in high school would ride up to Devil's Lake for a weekend and stuff like that.
Fantastic! So wow. Like with a pack of you, because that. Yeah. Oh, you're taking back roads. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was Highway 113.
Oh.
From Madison up to Devil's Lake.
That's risky business.
Yeah.
Probably no helmets.
Probably not.
Probably not. Never had a helmet.
Not back then.
Not until I moved to Madison. Yeah. So yeah, well, cool. And
so I learned how to work on bikes just because.
Out of necessity, really. Keep it on the road.
And helping with my friends' bikes. So it was.
And I love that about the bike mechanics class with the kids, because they get the skills. Not only can they keep their own bikes on the road, but they also keep their families' bikes on the road. And sometimes their friends will come to them and say, "Hey, my brakes are messed up. Can you help me out?" And they
it's not
make
that
it
tough.
No, you just gotta have the know-how, right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a challenge to get started.
Yes, that's right. And I love that for them, because that's so important. That's their freedom, right? And their independence.
It's a lot of freedom.
Access to opportunities, you know that, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Excellent.
And, I just, now I just, I ride to go to lunch. And,
oh, nice.
So it's a long ride. And so like we'll do the lake loop and we decide, are we going to stop at, Crema, or are we going to stop at, the ice cream shop.
Oh, sure. Yeah. All those classic.
Ice cream shop.
Oh, yeah. Those are all great spots. Yeah. Cool. Would you say, do you have a favorite bike route that you take?
Oh, probably the lake loop.
Lake loop is fun.
Around Lake Winona.
Yeah. Somehow I never really get sick of it. It just.
No, it's a great ride.
The lake is constantly changing, and it's just fun to see. You're with a lot of people often, especially if you're on a weekend.
Yeah, the Southwest Trail. So I live close to it. And
I have not ridden that one very much. Like, I've lived in Madison 30 years now as of August, and I think I've been on that one like 3 times. I just have never lived in that area or had never worked in that area.
Well, you can go, from where I live, go down to, downtown easily.
Oh, beautiful.
And head out, to the southwest part of it.
Nice.
Go to Riley Tavern.
Oh, sure.
Burger.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of a long ride.
That is, but that's beautiful.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And do you see a lot of people on the Southwest Path? I would imagine heavily used. I would imagine. Okay.
Yeah, especially weekends.
Oh yeah, it's like game day, right? That's probably how everybody gets to. Yeah. Could be some drunk bicycling going on, right? Yeah, we'll edit that out later, right?
Okay.
It's live, so we can't, but that's okay. We're in Wisconsin, and that's what happens sometimes. Yep. So, well, we love that you're here. We are so grateful to all our volunteers that help us make this work happen, because it's, like I mentioned with Jerry, staff of 2, and it's, we could never tackle all of this.
Staff too.
Yeah.
And volunteer staff of
120,
wow,
pretty much 120 we're managing pretty consistently, which is nice. So to build on that, so if you're looking to volunteer, Monday nights and Tuesday nights from 6 to 8:30, we have volunteer nights. You know about this, right?
Yes.
You come during the day, so that's
right.
But So we typically have space for about 10 people. So we ask that you register online. So if you go to bikesforkidswi.org, under the donate button, there's a volunteer option and you're donating your time. So click that and there's a calendar there where you can sign up. So on Monday nights, we have Freddie Estrada, who's a new host for us this year. And have you met Freddie?
I think he was here one time.
Yeah, you guys were helping load the container for Malawi together.
Right.
Yep. And so Freddie does a theme of learning Spanish around bicycles. So very useful. Yeah. Okay. So you get to work with the bicicleta. And then Tuesday night is Ryan Hulisman, and he's been at it for a long while as one of our Tuesday night hosts, and he does a music theme. So the last time I was here a couple weeks ago, it was a jazz theme. And so he builds he builds a whole playlist around his theme, and so it's really fun. Really fun. He does some great community building, and Freddie's definitely starting to get there too. It's just Monday nights are a little bit new for us, so come on over. You do not need to have any experience, every bicycle in here has to be cleaned. And like I say, if you can dust your home, and you can shine up a bike. We'll teach you how. We got the tools here. Or just bring a friend if you don't want to be on your own. We've had people come here for date night. They'll come and work on some bikes, and they'll go grab dinner, or do it the other way. Get dinner and then come here, so your hands aren't all dirty. But there's I think
even just take a seat off, grease the stem,
exactly,
put it back on,
pump up some tires. And the nice thing is, even if you just even if you don't, you come in with no knowledge, no matter what level you are, you're gonna leave having knowledge and having more than when you came in. And so
like Harvey was just showing me how to do something today, which
I love it. What was it? What kind of thing?
I was just taking the crankshaft off.
Oh, nice.
And putting, because there was a bent crank, and so I had to take that off and put a new one on. Yeah. So I learned how to do that today.
All right.
It was pretty easy.
Nice, excellent. And that's one thing I'm going to shout out to Harvey here is he really does a fantastic job in investing in our volunteers and making sure you've got the skills. It keeps you coming back, and then we know you're going to be
really
here.
Easy to work with.
Yeah, and that's just I think that's great. And then you're learning, and the one thing about I can't tell you how many people say, "Oh, can I come there for a couple nights and learn to be a bike mechanic?" Well, unfortunately, it takes years. It's like, imagine, these are vehicles. You've got many makes and models of every brand.
Well, that's something that I was surprised by.
Yeah, it's
how many different kinds of derailleurs there are.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And so if you know how to work on a Ford, you're probably not going to know how to work on, maybe not as much know how to work on maybe a Kia. Yeah. Or
I learned on my Schwinn, keeping it in shape.
Yeah, so that was kind of the classic standard, right?
Right, and all the different derailleurs.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or when you get into the BMXs with the gyros. Those are so tough. But so
I had one the other day where I had brought Harvey over, and he went, "Wow, I haven't seen this one before."
Yeah,
which is unusual.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and unfortunately it takes time, like all good things. It takes time and a lot of practice.
Well, it's just a challenge. It's fun to do.
You don't become a master chef by cooking twice, right? No. And so you have to stay at it. You have to practice. And this is just a great space to do that because you're working on a Giant right now.
Yep.
If you see Jerry back there, he is riding one of my favorite bikes. It's Purple Rain, I call her. It's a velvet banana seat in purple and with this big ape hanger handlebars. Oh, I love that bicycle.
Well, this Giant that I'm working on, the wheel was just really out of true.
Oh, yeah.
The crankshaft was bent.
Yeah, and it's got a front suspension.
It's got good bones.
And the suspension's still working. I mean, someone's gonna love that bicycle, right? It'll probably be some guy.
So we got the wheel trued up a little bit.
It's fantastic. Look.
The new crank on it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Some of the quality we get is just incredible.
But it had been abused.
Yeah, that one had been used, right? Now, the one Jerry was just working on, did you see that one? He was saying he was working on a Trek, and it was a beauty. And you could tell it probably didn't even, as Jerry said, didn't have 100 miles on it. And I'd probably say it didn't even have 50 miles on it. Mm-hmm. We don't know why someone bought that brand new, beautiful bicycle and only rode it a few times. one can never know, but it can be many things, right? Like you might have had a close call with a car and you're not an experienced biker and that really freaked you out. We hear of people who are like, I'm not doing it, or I'll only be on an e-bike because then you got some gas to get out of those trouble spots, right? And I have an e-bike.
Or just getting older and you want an e-bike.
Yeah. For me, you know what, a couple things I love about my e-bike is that I'm up much higher, and because it's so heavy, I just feel that I have more of a presence, and that I'm more noticeable, more visible. I love having the zoomy effect and being able to get out of trouble. That's always kind of fun. But for me, it's really, I just like that I feel like I'm more upright and I'm just more visible. I feel safer for some reason.
I've used an e-bike for some long trips, but
didn't you do a trip recently? Oh, okay.
No,
I was thinking you went abroad recently on an e-bike. And where did you go?
Croatia.
Oh, yes, yes. And you did mountains.
There were some high hills.
And it was all on e-bike.
Yes.
Thank the heavens.
I don't have an
e-bike.
Thank the heavens. I don't use an e-bike at home. But on the trip, it's just
beautiful.
Wanted to, go long distances.
Incredible.
And, wanted to have energy at night to go out and have dinner and so on.
Incredible. Awesome.
That's how the program worked, was using an e-bike.
So smart, especially that was like a guided tour.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, because unless you're vetting people and asking them to gauge their bicycling skills, you could end up in a problem, right?
Well,
someone ends up riding in the SAG vehicle the whole time.
It's one thing to be driving a car around. You can be on the road, so it's not a problem.
Absolutely.
But on a bike, you want to know where you're going.
That's right.
That you're going on the right roads.
Because one wrong turn. I've done that before.
You want to stay off the main roads.
Oh my gosh,
That's why the tour was really useful.
When I was racing, I would every other weekend I would do like 100-mile ride.
Oh, really?
And so I would often go out to like Black Earth. I love that Enchanted Valley area. I just love that area. It's so gorgeous. And I remember, this was in the 90s, so we didn't always have a phone and GPS, right? We didn't have that at all. And so I remember once I was out there and I always had a map in my jersey pocket, right? And it was a very hot summer day. And I was probably at like 100 miles. And I was like, I got to get heading back. I was out of water.
And you pull your map out?
What I did was I went by Selmo Pond and I was like, I've got to jump in. I'm cooking, And so I take my shoes off and I just jump in, strap my shoes back on. I'm like, my map. And I pull it out and I'm like,
and it's falling apart.
It was like, it was just like, there was not much left of it. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just go this way, kind of using my feel. And I ended up in a town, I think it's called Ashton.
Okay.
Somewhere on the north side of Madison, there's a little tiny town. This is funny that I'm going to tell this story because not many people have heard this story. So I think it's called Ashton, and just gorgeous, like a little white steepled church right up on a hill. Like you can see it for miles, right? And right across from the church is a little bar. And I was like, all right, I'll go here. And so it's a Saturday, probably like 3 p.m. There's nobody in this town, right? It looks like it would have a population of like 150 people. And I think it was unincorporated. And I go into the bar, the place is packed. And then all these people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Like, it's like they had never seen a woman all spandexed up. And all these women are like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm on a bike ride. They're like, well, where from? They could not believe I was from Madison. And and I was like, they're like, let us buy you a drink. I'm like, no, that's the last thing I need. I just need water. I just need water. I was already dehydrated, right? And so they were so fun and so cute. And like, they all just like rallied around me and they were like, how many miles are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm at like 108 right now. And they just couldn't even believe it, And so they got me the water. They were so like just wonderful hosts. I got back on and then I came out kind of up by the Mallards. I was up over that way on the north end. But I'll go by that bar and it's just the cutest. I have the most fun memory of the people in that bar. The place just packed. Oh, and then I remember that, I had to come out and look at my bike and, they just couldn't believe it. It was so cute.
My wife and I were, we got a little story about taking a bike trip up in, along the Mississippi River.
Oh,
and
lovely.
We stayed in a little B&B in Winona, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were there at
Gorgeous.
breakfast, and so we were talking to the people.
What was that?
So we
Tire
were talking to
popped.
the people at the B&B in the morning, and they said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And we said, "Well, we're biking." And they said, "Oh, really? What kind of bike do you have?" And we started telling them. And they said, and then we said,
They
"What
thought
kind
you
of
were
bike?
on motorcycles.
What kind of bike do you have?" "Well, I've got a 1200
Oh,
Harley,
Harleys.
or whatever." And
They
so
couldn't believe you were biking.
totally different bikes.
Oh my God, that's
But
fantastic.
we took this Root River Trail up
Oh,
in
it's so
Minnesota, which
beautiful.
was
I
really
love
a
it.
great trip.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
It's
My
gorgeous.
favorite spot along there was this restaurant that said
Mm.
world famous pies.
Oh yes, sign me up.
Yes,
Sign me up.
that was a good trip.
Oh, nice. What kind of pie did you have? Do you remember?
It was a few years ago, but it was usually an apple pie.
Oh, good. And they were
or strawberry
they
rhubarb.
world's best?
They were the world's best because it was sitting on a plate in front of
Yeah, you were hungry.
It's always my favorite
That's
pie.
right.
It's the one in front of
Yeah, teed up,
Yes.
and I have to have a little warm, so a little bit warmed
Yes.
up. That's key.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, always so good to see you,
Yeah.
Ken. Thanks for spending a little time with
sure.
us and talking to
Yeah,
all the
and-
millions of viewers watching right now.
Yeah. Come on in and volunteer. It's fun.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's good advice. Thanks, Ken. I'll grab
Bye
that
now.
off you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So it sounded like we had a little tire pop back there. Is that what that was, Jerry? Whew, that'll wake you up. Oh boy. It just got grumpy, huh? Jerry, did you take Purple Rain over to the... I want to show... Oh, here it is.
But it's got a flat tire.
Okay. Oh,
It's got the
this
flat-
is the one that blew?
it's the one
Oh,
that blew.
Purple Rain blew. Well, she was calling out to me saying, you must show me on here. Let's see if we can get it on here. Oh boy. It's not going to be easy. I'll tell you that. I love this place. You can kind of see the seat here. Let's see. I'll bring this down. Okay. Do you see that banana seat? Look at that thing. Isn't that the coolest banana seat? Just adore this bicycle.
Yeah. So it was fine. And then I put it back, and then we had this. Is that what the bang was? Yeah. So it made me think of Dave. So it was a big memory.
that to a lapel. Yep, and then we can. The nice thing is it rotates. Isn't that
Right.
fancy?
Look at that.
This is what $20 gets you today. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
All right. Hey, we're back. This
Hello.
is Dan Graff.
Dan Graff.
Is that how
Yeah.
you say it? Graff? I didn't think it was Graff, but
Yep.
Dan Graff, and he is another volunteer for us. You've been here. Like, when did you start coming around?
So I started coming around with my friend John.
Yeah.
Last winter. Where's John?
He's somewhere.
He's somewhere. We'll
Last
haul him
winter.
in. Yeah,
Last
right.
winter.
Last winter we started out with Keith on Monday nights.
Oh, nice. Great.
And, that was great. It was a good introduction to it.
Awesome.
Like a lot of people, the first bike was the slowest. You know, you
Yeah.
learn a lot as you go forward.
Just like that's how we ride too, right? Your first
Exactly.
bike's your slowest, and then you gain momentum as you continue and practice.
Exactly. There's John. John,
Hey,
come
John.
say hi to this one and another donation.
Oh, the
Nice.
Extreme Murray. It looks like it's, yeah, it looks really, I mean, look at the tires are fantastic.
Tires are in great shape.
I mean, it really looks like it's barely been ridden.
Oh, so that's a
Another
family
example.
bike, John?
My nephews, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
see, that's another way of contributing is bringing bikes in so that they can be reconditioned and all that.
Absolutely.
I have 6 bikes.
6 bikes John has
Sweet.
donated. That's pretty amazing. All bikes you owned?
Well, the last 3 have been from my brother-in-law's garage.
There you go. There you go. In the family. Bikes in the
Bikes
right?
in the family, yeah.
All in the
Well,
family.
they all know if throw a bike away. That's what I always tell them. Don't throw a bike away.
No, don't throw a bike away. That is a great message. I talked about that with Jerry. I put a post on social media about the lifespan of a bicycle tossed in a dumpster. And like, the amount of wasted energy and really those bikes get mangled by the time they're at the landfill.
Last week I got one here. I spent almost all afternoon working on it. Finally, and stripped it down and threw the frame away.
Oh, that happens. Not all bikes can be saved, right? Not all souls can be saved. My bikes have souls. I swear they do. And that's why I like struggle so much to give them up, right? And pass them on. I'm like, I'll just ride it to death.
I bought a mountain bike from a friend of mine, Joey, and he said, "What did you name it?" Because
yeah, exactly.
He called it Lily, but I said, "My bikes don't have souls. They're good friends, though."
Yeah, therapists, what all kinds of different things. So Dan's very involved with the Right Stuff Century and Bombay Bicycle Club. And this year we were the charity partner for the Right Stuff Century, which was so fun.
Right. And from the Bombay perspective, you exceeded our expectations.
Oh, great.
Bikes for Kids
Excellent.
Wisconsin did everything that we asked you to do and more.
So I'm so glad to hear that.
And no promises, but we're planning on having the same partnership for the Right Stuff Century in 2025. So
oh, woo! Awesome. That is fantastic.
If I had my calendar, and it'd have to be paper.
I know the dates because Right Stuff Bombay Bicycle Club donated a free pass to the Right Stuff Century for our virtual auction, which ends Tuesday, December 3rd at 3 p.m. And that's only got one bid on it. So I'm like, come on, people. Set a big goal to ride the Right Stuff Century on August 1st. 2025.
Well, September 1st, maybe.
I'll dig it up.
It's always the Sunday before Labor Day. So it's always like the first Sunday.
Ooh, maybe it's August 31st. Yeah.
It could be August 31st.
I feel like it was in August because I helped kind of brush up the coupon.
If only we had next year's calendar.
Yeah. This is a no phones allowed space. No, it's not. It's not. But sometimes it'd be nice if it was.
But at any
well,
rate,
very cool. I'm so excited to hear that. Way to bring that news with you, Dan. You didn't even know you were going to be on live to all our millions of followers.
Wow. And this is my first YouTube broadcast, but I guess, like you say,
famous now.
The first time is always the most difficult.
Yeah.
It's easy from here on out.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'll take the mic up so you don't have a hot mic moment. Then that gets really exciting. That was Dan Graff from Bombay Bicycle Club, recently retired, so he spends a lot of his time here at the bike center, which is great.
Yeah. I got a lot of people that are like, you know what, that's $100 bike. I'm like, nope, go sell it then. You can say it's anything you want. Say whatever you want.
Exactly.
There,
It's worth how much someone would pay for it, right?
The way that we work in the IRS is fair market value. And there's,
You fill out the form yourself.
like, the saddle is worth $10 to me. That's all I'll give you for it.
So Dan and I were talking about the Right Stuff Century and a free voucher. Well, sorry, let me start over. Bombay Bicycles Club donated a free pass to the Right Stuff Century in 2025. And the date of that ride is August 31st, 2025. So that is currently only bid at $30 and the value is $70. So if you want to set a big goal for yourself, bid on that auction item and you could get it for 35 bucks, half the price. And really probably like imagine the benefits you do for yourself, setting a big goal like that and getting a 100-mile ride in a day. So Dan, the ride is August 31st. August 31st.
And you could, there's up to 5 rest stops, which are
Yeah.
attractively, really,
So
really good
nice.
rest
And the
stops.
snacks they have there are great. I was at the Blanchardville stop, which was the 82-mile marker.
You saw lots of tired people.
We saw lots of tired people. Yes.
It's kind of hilly, but
They,
it's a lot of fun.
you know, it was mostly it was pretty hot that day, and so that was the hardest part. But the snacks were great. The snacks were definitely enjoyed by all. August 31st, it is.
Maybe it's being COVID or something. They ran it for unsupported or something.
So check out this beautiful print. This is a photograph. So it's on canvas. So you can see it's on a canvas stretcher and ready to hang in your home or your office or your cabin. It's a drone photograph of Lady Forward at the top of the Capitol. This is also in our virtual auction, and I think it's maybe at $85, but it's like a $300 or $400 value. So really, you can see it's very large. It's half my height, which isn't saying a lot. I'm a tiny person, but isn't it lovely, guys? Did you guys see this? It's pretty, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're looking to participate in the telethon on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2025, these are the numbers you can call to have us read a tribute aloud. Or you want to make a donation or whatever kind of message you want to give us, a positive message, that is. Our volunteer operators will be handling your calls, and we'd love to have your support. We're hoping to raise $10,000 on Tuesday, December 3rd. That's Giving Tuesday 2024.
Yeah, that's the one.